Hello and welcome to Bounding Into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding Into Comics. Today I got a story about Anthony Mackie claiming Disney and Marvel Studios are trying to, quote, change the way society looks at itself. But before we get to the story, I'd like to ask if you could please hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed already. If you are subscribed already, I'd like to make sure that you check and make sure you are still subscribed. And then hopefully at the end of this video, I have earned your like, and then you will share this video with your friends and family. So let's get to this story here. Marvel Studios recently released their latest episode of Marvel Studios Assembled that gives a behind-the-scenes look at the recently concluded first season of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In that episode, actor Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson on the show, recently claimed that Marvel Studios and Disney are trying to, quote, change the way society looks at itself through the show. This is what he had to say. It's been an emotional experience, especially in the time in which we live in now. For Marvel to give me the opportunity as a black man from the South to become Captain America, I think says a lot, not only about the work that I've put in to get to this point that they would entrust me with that, but with the way that they're hoping to change the way society looks at itself. That is a very telling comment there. He's showing that Marvel and Disney are actively trying to change society through these television shows. These shows are not entertainment. They are not escapism, despite what their little 3-minute video and Stan Lee's voiceover that they released today makes it seem like. They're actively trying to change society, and that's activism, and I would argue that's potentially propaganda as well. And Mackie is telling us that's what they're doing. So very telling statement there. But that wasn't the only thing that I found interesting about this episode. Mackie also made a couple of other contradictory comments throughout the episode. At one point he says, Sam, being a soldier and being a veteran, being a counselor, he realizes that as a people we're all Americans. I'm not black Captain America. Steve wasn't white Captain America. He was solely Captain America. So as a society, as a country, we need to realize that all the people who are citizens here on this soil, no matter what their origins are, they are Americans. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually great. I think what he's saying there is fantastic. He would go on to add, and the old adage, I am my brother's keeper, comes into play. Sam realizes he deserves the right. He's earned the right of Captain America, and that has nothing to do with his race or background. That's correct. Captain America, while it is usually when you think of Captain America, you think of Steve Rogers, but in the context of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Steve Rogers has gone, yes, he gives the shield to Sam. I think it could have also gone to Bucky as well. And then the U.S. agent also did a really good job in the show, proving that he was also worthy of being Captain America. But yeah, Sam also is worthy of being Captain America. And yeah, I think he deserved that right. He fought against Thanos and defended the country against an alien invasion. But getting to this contradictory point towards the end of the episode, he actually says that Sam Wilson is the black Captain America. So he's contradicting himself there. He says this, with everything that's been going on with COVID and the murders of Breonna and the murder of George Floyd and the riots and the activism going on with the young generation now, and the Black Lives Matter movement, it's been jarring to me and surprising how timely this series is. He added, my truth has changed and evolved so much. That's so cringe. Anytime you're saying your truth, your opinion has, that's what you're really saying, your opinion has changed, because truth is immutable, it doesn't change. So that's I hate when people say that. It makes you look stupid, because it's immature. It shows that you have no understanding of what the word truth is. But aside from that, he continues saying, as far as me being a father, as far as me being a man, and as far as me being an American. And a lot of that has come out of this role and this series. So it's been humbling in a real sense, but also inspiring to think that my sons will be able to turn on the TV and see a black Captain America. I thought he was just Captain America, but he's referring to himself as Black Captain America. So clearly contradicting himself within this hour-long episode. No one decided to edit that out. It's in the episode. It's there. Can't deny that. But not only did Mackie claim Marvel Studios and Disney are trying to change the way society looks at itself, but director Kerry Skoglund also made some interesting comments about the show and specifically about heroes. She stated at one point, "It was very important to me, and I think to everybody, to explore what it means to be a hero in today's world. If in the past in the MCU being a hero was very much related to being a soldier and being a warrior, the new hero is not that. The new hero is really a first responder, and so it was embedded in our journey for both characters." Yeah, that absolutely makes no sense to me. I'm pretty sure the people who defeated Thanos in Avengers Endgame were all soldiers. Even Tony Stark at that point was a soldier. They were fighting a battle against Thanos and his army. So I have really no idea what she's saying here, what that even means. It looks like she's trying to be smart to like virtue signal about first responders in the time of COVID, but in reality, it's just gibberish and makes no sense when you actually just look at all of the MCU up until this point. I mean, most of the heroes are warriors. Even Black Panther is a king and a warrior. He literally has a duel, and then he has that his own like almost mini civil war in Black Panther, where he defeats Killmonger and the Killmonger's faction that he had kind of taken over. So that doesn't really make any sense. You even have the point where Black Panther gives Bucky the new arm, and Bucky's just like, "Where's the battle at? Like, where do you need me? I'm a soldier." So this is really, really strange that she made this comment. It's just kind of baffling and makes no sense. But Skoglund and Mackie weren't the only ones who had interesting things to say. Showrunner Malcolm Spellman also discussed the thought process behind Mackie's Sam Wilson becoming Captain America. Spellman said, "I felt like we would be dishonest to the fans and dishonest to just on a human level if we had this black man just accept this symbol without having real ambivalence about it, and we knew that was going to be crucial to Sam's burden." Producer Nate Moore would follow that up saying, "As a black man in America, to take on the Stars and Stripes and wear that proudly, that's not something that Sam Wilson would do out of the box. The notion of exploring what blackness means in America was kind of the hypothesis of the show, and the notion of legacy was something that both Sam and Bucky explore." Nate Moore must not have watched any of the Iron Man films at all. There are plenty of black soldiers in the uniform of the United States of America, so it's not unheard of to see black people taking on the Stars and Stripes. I mean, in our own world, there's lots of black people who serve in the military and are soldiers in the United States Armed Forces. The most prominent one in the MCU is one of Tony Stark's best friends, Colonel James Rhodes. Like, he's a major character in the MCU. In fact, Rhodes actually wears an American flag-themed Stark-designed suit called the Iron Patriot in Iron Man 3. He's literally wearing the American flag as a suit in Iron Man 3. So even aside from Rhodes, a black man having no problems taking up the Stars and Stripes, Wilson had taken up the Stars and Stripes before he picked up the shield as well. I mean, I just talked about how Mackie said that Wilson is a veteran, and he is. When his character was introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, it's revealed he's a veteran. He previously served in the United States Air Force as a pararescue airman. Wilson had already picked up the Stars and Stripes and served his country. So it's bizarre Moore would claim he wouldn't do it out of the box when in fact he'd already done it. It's really confusing. It's like almost like these people have no idea what they're actually talking about. They don't understand what happened in the MCU before this show that they got their hands on, and they're just using the show purely to push a political message. And he made that clear when he said the notion of exploring what blackness means in America was kind of the hypothesis of the show. But he completely ignores the fact that Wilson was a veteran in this comment here, and that he had already taken up the Stars and Stripes and proudly served his country, and was still doing it as a counselor to veterans suffering from PTSD. So to conclude, Marvel Studios Assembled definitely gives you a behind-the-scenes look at the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and shows just how disorganized the storytelling was, but maybe more importantly, it showed just how obsessed the show was with race. And that looks to be the future of the MCU going forward, and it is a very bleak future, in my opinion. And I probably will not be watching it at all. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding in the Comics.